Right, okay, welcome back to another video on the channel. It's happened again. Wolves 1, Chelsea 0. Let's get into it. So start off with what a rubbish performance yet again. I mean, the players didn't give anything. Obviously, Lampard will get a lot of the blame as he's the manager, but I'm sorry, but the players didn't give anything. I mean, look, we've had two managers sacked this year. I mean, you've got to start looking at, certain things rather than just the managers all the time. These players do not give enough, and a lot of them today did not give enough as well. I mean, there were some dreadful performances out there. Just some sloppy, most players don't even really care. They were out of the game most of the time. Just not good enough. It was sloppy. There was no intensity at all, pretty much. We didn't create enough chances. I mean, for how much possession, how many corners we had, creating nothing. I think we had like one shot on target. I mean, the corners were absolutely dreadful. I mean, there was no point even having corners. Because, as per usual, first man or straight to the keeper. How do we not work in corners? How do we not work in finishing? Same problems every single year with Costas. And yet, it continues to happen every single year. I mean, you would have thought with like people like Frank Lampard and Ashley Cole in the backroom staff, how they get these players going, tell them what it means to play for this club. But no, there's just nothing in there today. There was no intensity. I mean, Lampard agreed, he said there was no aggression. I almost feel bad for any manager who steps into this job because these players just aren't giving anything right now. There wasn't enough of them today. And it's just another frustrating step backwards. Just a boring game. Nothing great. There was no big chances. Nothing created. It was way worse than the Liverpool game. Taking a massive step back there. Obviously, Lampard said he didn't want to blame, the just constant changes. But, I want to just say it's just another, because obviously we had a change. He's only had like 1 or 2 days with the players. I want to blame it on that. But, that's no excuse for not putting your all in and not constantly going for it, and not doing any tenacity or any tackles. Just because you've only had 2 days as a manager, that's not an excuse. Not been 100% in. Maybe on the ball and stuff, that might be an excuse. Off the ball, definitely not, and they weren't good enough on or off the ball today. So if you look at the table, we're still 11th. Obviously, Fulham and Brentford both lost, but obviously we lost as well, so we couldn't make anything up on them. So we're still 11 points with Fulham. They still have a game in hand on us, and we are 4 points behind Brentford, and they're on the same amount of games as us. Obviously, Liverpool still play tomorrow. As of now, they have 2 games in hand on us. But obviously, after they play Arsenal, they'll have 1 game in hand on us. Yeah, another chance we could step forward, but once again, we lost and we throw it away. Onto the player ratings then. Kepa only was 6. Couldn't do anything about the goal. I know I've been quite critical of him with some of the goals where he probably should say, but couldn't do anything. That was a fun. See, first of all, I haven't talked much about Wolves. I mean, I think they were alright, but that was a fantastic strike. James, I'm going to give him a 7. I think he was he was one of our better players. He put a few crosses in, but no one got on the end of it. So, what's the point at the end of the day? Koulibaly, 7. He pressed me, to be fair. Made a good few tackles. Fafana as well, 7. He was involved in the game a lot. Yeah, he was good. I would say he was good. He made a good tackle in the box as well. Very good tackle in the box. Very well timed. One of those where you couldn't afford to get that wrong at all, because it would have been a foul. Cucurella, 5. He was getting dragged around everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. I don't know why we played a bit of a weak line-up, because we were resting. But, I mean, Chilwell didn't impress me either, as you would see, but Cucurella was dreadful. Being dragged around everywhere in defence. There was nothing in attack either at all. Enzo number 6. This is probably his worst performance, Chelsea, I have to say. He got caught out a bit. Wasn't as good as he normally is. Made a few tackles, but it wasn't that impressive, to be honest, for Enzo. So yeah, disappointing for his standards. Kovacic number 6 wasn't in the game that much, to be honest, Kovacic today. Obviously, he was the captain. But yeah, didn't really notice him that much. Gallagher is a hard one, because he'd rather be a 7 or a 6. Because off the ball, he was fantastic. He was the one off the ball, stood out. As per usual, constant pressing, constant everything. But on the ball, he was alright. He was a bit average. I'm going to go with a 6, but, once again, Gallagher, that's what he's good. But that's what he needs. That's what he's good coming off the bench for when you're trying to keep a lead. Not when you're chasing a game. And we shouldn't be chasing that game at all, by the way. We should have, we had the majority of the ball. Sterling, I'm doing him a 6, but he started off really sharp. Then he got blunt. He had one or two good sort of dribbles and stuff on a corner. But after that, he just fades out the game. Was completely blunt. Wasn't in it at all. Kai Havertz, 5. He just wasn't in the game. He wasn't in the game. I think he had 1 or 2 chances, but just wasn't in the game at all. And Felix, he had a few shots from long range, what were just pointless because they were straight at the keeper. Apart from that, not much as well. Bit unlike him, to be honest. On to subs now. Pulisic, 6. Just, once again, just nothing from him. Aubameyang, he was alright. He looks like he was sort of trying, looking for it, but yeah, only a 6 because he couldn't really do much in the end. Chilwell 5, he just wasn't that impressive. Given stupid fouls, diving about in the corner. He spent more time complaining at the ref than he was actually trying to do something. So yeah, I wasn't too impressed with Chilwell today. Wasn't on the pitch that long, but yeah, when he was, didn't impress me that much. Mudryk 6, he was alright, made a few good tackles, but once again, he just wasn't involved in the game. And Chalobah, he came on like ridiculously late, so just give me a 6. So yeah, as I say, not impressive at all. Also, I want to make a dig at the ref. The ref was rubbish again, absolute rubbish. I mean, for example, late on, I think it was Kovacic, no, it was Gallagher. Gallagher got kicked, he gave the free kick to Wolves, they can just punt up the field, and he goes full time. It's just dreadful reffing, as per usual. I mean, game after game, we get this rubbish reffing, and they don't get punished for it. Honestly, half of these refs in the current team of them, half of them should be sacked. Half of them should be gone. I heard there was another instance there in the Brighton game where Brighton got robbed. I haven't seen it though, but I heard there was a big, what should have been a penalty for Brighton. But loads of these refs are just rubbish. All of them are just rubbish. I mean, honestly, week after week, I don't want to keep complaining about the refs and not also making excuses, but the refs are rubbish. The refs are dreadful. But yeah, that's it. Obviously, on to Real Madrid. Hopefully, we have a few more training sessions. Obviously, I expect we'll have a lot better team. Obviously, Kante will be starting, Chilwell will be starting. So yeah, hopefully, when we have a better team, fresh against Real Madrid, we can hopefully do something with Bernabeu, but I don't know at this point. But yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.